Okay. Well, hello. Happy Saturday. Sunday. It's Sunday. Oh my goodness. And I'm hoping this is going to work. We are going to try the folding demonstration and yeah, see if we can't save ourselves some time and have some really good organization going. I have this light shining in my eyes, so I can't really see who's on, but I also have my iPad going, so I'm hoping that I can see comments come through on that. So bear with me, and we'll just get through this thing. All right, so I really do appreciate you coming on here, and welcome to my studio. And yeah, let's get this going. So T-shirts, I think we all have T-shirts, and let me just kind of say, I'm not a professional. This is just something that I have been doing because I have a ton of clothes. I heard about this practice. This is by Marie Kondo. This is not an ad. I'm not getting paid or anything. I'm just okay, this has just really changed my life. So I find that by having things in an organized fashion, right where I can get them, just makes my life so much simpler. So, and I like to be able to see what I have, what all the colors are, what all the styles. So that's one of the reasons, kind of the main reason that I chose to adapt this style. So I'm trying again to see if I can have this come up on my iPad while I have it being broadcast on the phone, so that if questions come in, I can actually see them. So I don't know. We'll just try to make it work. Okay, so let's get started. All right, I have several options here for us to start with, and so let's just start with, I said a T-shirt, so let's just start with a T-shirt. So I have this one here, which was already folded, but we'll just unfold it. So this is just kind of like your basic T-shirt, V-neck, nothing fancy. It's one of my workout shirts. And the whole idea behind this theory, this process, this practice, is to have everything end up be the same size so you can stack it in your drawers and see what you actually have there. So, all right, so we're going to take the T-shirt, and hopefully you can see all of this. You may not be able to see the whole thing while we're folding, but I'll make sure that you can see the essentials. Let's tilt this down just a little bit. Okay, I think that's better. All right, great. So first things first, and this is the same with everything we're going to fold today, is to imagine a line right down the center and the back. All right, so we're going to imagine that line, and you're going to take this side and fold over it. Trust me, this all seems like super basic, but the fun comes when we kind of get toward the end. And so what you ultimately want is for the item to be in a rectangle when you're done. So this is really short cap sleeve, so we just have to fold that right into that line, and then bring the other piece over, and so that again we're kind of meeting that imaginary line. No, all the padding and everything is not necessary, but it's something that I've just kind of gotten accustomed to doing. And side note, I have always loved folding clothes. I've never learned this before, but I just remember as a child, I didn't like doing all the laundry, but I did like folding the clothes. I don't know why. All right, so first thing we're going to do, fold this in half. And that looks pretty standard, right? This kind of normal folding clothes. But the key to this is next you want to imagine this in thirds. So I like to fold the top part in and then the bottom part. Marie Kondo does it the reverse. And then the idea is for it to stand up on its own. So that's kind of the magic of it, is that it stands on its own. So when you have it in the drawer, you know what, let me turn off my phone because my text is going off. So when you have it in the drawer, everything can kind of stand up together. So we'll just put that over there for now. Oh, there we go. You stand right there. Okay, great. All right, so now let's try a long sleeve T-shirt. I have a long sleeve T-shirt. All right, so this one is full long sleeve cotton, just kind of your basic T-shirt. So same thing, but again, long sleeves, so we're going to have a little bit of a different technique. Same thing again, imaginary line down the middle, and then fold in your sides. Again, you're wanting this to be a rectangle, but what you're going to do with the long sleeves, instead of this way, this is how I had always done it, you're actually going to fold this over so that the fold is where the other side is going to come in. And then bring this back and down. So it's right inside that space. So you're kind of, again, trying to make sure that you have a rectangle at the end. So then bring over this other piece here and then smooth it out to your preference. Fold so that this fold of this long sleeve is in line with the outside edge of your first fold, and then fold that down, smooth again, and then what are we going to do? We're going to go half, and then we're going to imagine thirds, fold in, and then fold in again, and then stand. So the idea with, particularly when it has words on it, is that when it's in the drawer, you can now see what all your designs are. Now, if you like to separate your long sleeve t-shirts from your workout shirts, from, style shirts, then, maybe you're not gonna have a design. So let's put those two guys over there, and then let's look at another one with a design. So we have this t-shirt here, which is a, cap sleeve, raglan sleeve, I think is probably the technical term for it. Same thing again, imaginary line down the middle, fold in half, smooth, nice and even, so you end up with a rectangle, and the sleeve fold in, over, and down. We just have a tiny little bit on this one because it's a raglan sleeve. It's a 3/4 sleeve. So we bring this side in again, fold, fold, and then make a little fold over with that little leftover piece. All right, okay. You guys with me? You tracking with me? Okay, good, right? Because it's not that hard, but this is going to be saved, so you can definitely watch it again, share it, whatever you need to do. Send me a message. I'm happy to answer any questions. And then, again, you've got the thirds here. Fold in, and see how that design is nice and at the top? So you know what that is right when you look in the drawer what it is. I was about to fall over, so I caught it. All right, so now here we have our 3 shirts that we just folded. And so they're standing up, which is great, because again, you can imagine if they're in a drawer, maybe they're going this way. You're like, oh, what do I want to wear today? And then they're all there. Now, what about a tank top? So tank top, a little trickier, right? Because no sleeves. So I should have titled this Airing Lauren's Clean Laundry, but whatever. I forgot about that. It was like one of those random creative thoughts I had, and I didn't write it down. So now here we are, and I've titled this something completely different. All right, well, we get the idea. Okay, so same concept. We want to fold in to the imaginary middle line. Fold in again, imaginary middle line, and so you can kind of just are getting the hang of it. I hope that it's like a rectangle. That's the whole idea. But on this one, I'm going to bring the top part in. Can y'all see that? Yeah, okay, so bring the top part in, and then I like to bring the bottom of this in, and then fold that over. Okay, so it stands up. So again, pretty straightforward. Now, you could also do this one in in half, and then in thirds, and then you get a nice teeny tiny little packet. Also will stand up. So again, depending on the amount of space that you have and where you're actually putting it and how you want your drawers, you can do that one in, again, the same method, the half and then the thirds, or fold in the ends and then fold into each other. All right, so let's stand that one up over there. Okay, now what about a long sleeve shirt with buttons? So I said I was going to do some jammies. So here's a pair of pajamas. So long sleeve pajamas, they're flannel. I don't know that I'm necessarily wearing these this time of year, but I tend to get cold at night, so I like to keep them handy. So same thing, down the center. But this one's a little bit thicker, so you want to do this a little bit behind the center line. So you don't necessarily want to go all the way, but just a little bit because it's going to be a little bulkier. That's going to be the same theory when we get to the sweatshirts. All right, so that's over that. And then in, just like with the long sleeve t-shirt, fold in, bring this one all the way over, and then fold that little guy down like that. And so this is another one that I like to do a little bit differently than Marie Kondo, because I like to have this inside part, this top part in. So 2 choices here. So we can fold this way, here, and it would certainly stand, but I don't like that little crunchiness on, on the collar. So I prefer to bring this in and tuck that in. Then bring this in and one more time, and again. So you still get the same little piece, but it's just a little bit neater on the bottom when you tuck in the collar first. So there, and then it's standing up. Again, that's the objective, have it standing at the end so that you can put it in your drawer and it's all nice and neat. So just to kind of show you where we are, everything is about the same height. We got this little tank top in here, so maybe that one would go up there, even if it is in the same drawer with these other items. You know, I have my pajamas in one, T-shirts, you know, however you want to do that, that's on you. But the idea, as you can see, is that they really are about the same height, so they would pretty easily go into a drawer. So you can kind of see how that would be very organized in your drawer, right? Okay, now how about, let's just stay with tops. So let's go with sweatshirts. Let's go to sweatshirt with a hood. So we have this sweatshirt here. Right, so hood, and it's got a hood, so I'll show you the hood there. And so hoods are a little tricky because, again, why? Bulky, they're just bulky. But who doesn't like a hooded sweatshirt? I love them. Okay, so same thing. Find your imaginary center line, and you're going to bring that in to almost the center line on that one. And then we're going to come across with the sleeve, and then fold it back. Same thing here, imaginary center line. A little bit shy of the center line, and then fold this all the way to the side, fold, and then flip in that little tail, and now the hood comes in. So the hood comes in, and you want to fold that like a little square-ish, kind of. Just get that so that it's, you know, nice and neat, and you can see where all the weight is going to be kind of in this top area where we folded the sleeves, and now we have the hood here. All right, and so now we want to bring in the bottom, and then bring in the top. Now, this is not a particularly thick sweatshirt, so it's not gonna stand if we only do that. So on this one, we're gonna go in, another fold, and then another fold so that it will stand up when we're done. Now, the material on this one's a little flimsy, but you can see that it's still standing up. And that, again, that's the name of the game. Have this thing stand up in your drawer, or even if you're gonna stack it in a shelf. So I'm going to leave that one right there and then come behind it, and we're going to fold this one again, which is also a hooded sweatshirt, but it has a zipper. So zipping it up first, pretty key. And similar thing, get the hood out of the way. Imaginary center line, which is kind of easy because there's a zipper underneath. You can find that. So fold in a little bit shy of center. Bring your sleeve over, over, and down. And same thing on the other side. Over. Bring the sleeve over, over, and down to line up with that piece that you folded in. Let's see, we're going to bring our hood in. And there we go. I don't know what that is, doesn't matter, it's clean. So bring the hood in, and same thing. So again, as I mentioned, this one is a little bit thicker than the first one, and the material is just a little bit more sturdy. So for this one, I'm only going to come in one time, and then I'm going to fold, and it's going to stand up like that. So that's like the beauty of this whole thing. But we can now stack it with our other one, and now you can see they're like there together. So that's the idea. So if you can imagine if they're on your shelf like that, again, super easy, you know, not too bulky, nice, even little package. All right, so that's that. What else do I have here? Leggings. So I posted a couple days ago about like what 3 things would you take on your island? I think coffee, jewelry, and leggings were my 3. And so we got to fold some leggings. All right, so these are probably my favorite pair of winter leggings. And I say winter because they're like a little bit thicker and warmer, and you know, they're like my winter fashion leggings. All right, so I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this. Okay, so let me pull this up here. So the idea here, same concept, it needs to end up in a rectangle. And so we want to fold in the crotch area, and then we want to bring the legs up to meet that. Let me just see if you guys can see this. I think that's tracking okay. Let me just see here. Yeah. All right, so that's in. So now this one we're going to bring in a few times. So we got 1 fold, 2 folds, and then the waist is going to come in to meet that second fold. Push it back a little bit, give yourself a little space. Fold that over, and voila, standing. So Now your leggings are folded, nice and neat. Put those up. Well, we got to put them over here because we need them to be out of the way. Okay, now these are some summer leggings. They're super lightweight. And in the spirit of having just passed Independence Day, I thought we would go with the red, white, and blue pair. You guys can see that. All right, so same concept, but again, these are just lighter weight. So they are going to have a few more folds in them than the winter ones did. So same concept. Let me just see if we are tracking on the screen. So fold in, bring your legs up, and you can see you just kind of want to meet that area. So again, creating that rectangle with your fold. So you can bring the waist in. Can you see that? Yeah. Let me just double check. Yeah, so that looks pretty good. I'm looking now on the iPad just to see if what you guys are seeing is the same as I am. So, okay, so imaginary thirds here, okay? So fold in once, fold in twice, and then bring the waistband over, fold, and see how this material is kind of flimsy? So it doesn't want to stand up perfectly, but it kind of does because you're going to have it in the drawer with your other items and it's going to be fine. All right, so let's put that guy up there. And then some short leggings, same concept. You can see I already have these folded. So open and then pull this piece up so that that meets. Nice rectangle. Bring your waist in and then we're going to fold, fold, and fold, and voila. So I love these sturdier material because they're perfect for a demonstration because they just like stand at attention, which is the whole idea. Okay, now let's see, we have a couple more things. So how about a dress? How about a dress for my ladies that are watching? So pretty simple dress, t-shirt material, kind of shortish sleeves, not quite 3/4, but not quite short sleeve. So same concept, middle, finding the middle, the imaginary center of the item, and making it nice and neat. And then fold in that sleeve. This dress is a little bit wide at the top, so this sleeve can actually stay fully extended, but I'm going to just fold it in just a little bit just to keep it neat. And then bring in the bottom so that that is consistent. Actually, why don't we just leave that open now that I see that? Let's just leave that open and then we can put that one there. How about that? All right. So now we're going to bring in the bottom. So you can see we have a lot of fabric left here. So if we did it in thirds, you can see how that's like not going to work. So on this one, I would come here, and because the fabric is relatively light, I'm going to bring this in here, and then I'm going to fold this over so that it stands when I'm done. So that really is kind of the major modification that I've done on how kind of the Marie Kondo method is, so which is pretty consistent and half and then thirds. And so depending again on the weight of your fabric, is it a long dress, what kind of t-shirt is it a lighter t-shirt, then that's going to determine if you do kind of the bottom in and thirds, or if you're going to do half and then quarters. So just kind of play with it a little bit and just use your discretion based on what you actually have for the material. Okay, so let's put that guy up there. And then let's see, I have two more things. I have a pair of shorts. So shorts a little tricky because there's not that much to fold. But same concept, in with the crotch, bring in this bottom piece, bring in the bottom part of the shorts, and then bring in the waistband. I like to bring in the waistband because again, I just like it a little bit neater at the end. And then you're going to fold that in so you can see how you have that little seam right there. And then just fold that together. And then it's going to stand up. Voila! That's the best part. Okay, so let's do that. And then the last thing we're going to do is a pair of jeans. So I showed you guys, saw my other box of jeans. So that's all done. But this is another pair of jeans just so that we can kind of go through the exercise with a pair of jeans a little bit different.